I understand that all students would like to earn an A in every course that they teach. But as basketball head coach Bobby Knight said, the will to succeed is important. But what's more important is the will to prepare. You must be prepared to accept the academic challenge of learning chemistry. Your attitude should be, I will do all that it takes. I will succeed. Let's face it, chemistry has a reputation for being a difficult subject. One reason is that it includes so many individual topics. Individually, these topics are not too difficult to understand, but collectively, they are a lot to master. Another reason is that these topics must be learned in a cumulative fashion. Topic A leads to topic B, which is important for understanding topic C, and so on. If you had a bad week and do not study topic B carefully, topic C will not make much sense to you. Because chemistry is time-consuming and cumulative, you need to be very organized and diligent in your studying of it. For some people, it is fun, and for others, it is hard work. But no matter, it takes time. It requires persistence, concentration, discipline, patience, and lots of practice. General university policy is that an average student in an average class should study for 2 hours out of class for 1 hour in class to get an average grade. The fact is that chemistry isn't an average class. If you would like more than an average grade, you should probably study at least 10 hours outside of class a week. There is no correct way in studying chemistry. Your study technique will be decided by your current level of knowledge, the time that you have available, your strengths as a student, and your attitude towards the subject. Reading 50 pages in a chemistry textbook is very different than reading 50 pages in a history book. It may take you at least 1 hour to thoroughly understand 5 pages in a chemistry textbook. The following is a list of suggestions to help you take the special challenges of chemistry in stride. Starting with Chapter 2, if you have trouble with a task, you should immediately review previously learned material before you attempt the new material. So promise yourself that you will always review the topics that you do not understand before beginning a new chapter. Read each chapter in the textbook before it is covered in lecture. There are several good reasons why a relaxed pre-lecture reading of the chapter is important. It provides you with a skeleton of knowledge that you can flesh out mentally during the lecture. At the same time, guaranteeing there are fewer new ideas to absorb as you listen to your instructor talk. If you already know a few things, you will be better prepared to participate in class discussions. Attend class meetings regularly. Actively take notes. Participate in class discussions. You will get much more out of the lecture, and you will enjoy it more if you are actively involved. Don't hesitate to ask questions or make comments when the lecture confuses you. If you have read the chapter before coming to class and paid attention to the lecture, and you still have a question, you can be fairly certain that other students have that question too, and will appreciate you asking for clarification. Use the chapter objectives as a focus of study. Reread the chapter, marking important sections and working the provided exercises. In the second reading, mark the key segments of the chapter that you think you should reread before the test. Don't try to do this in the first reading because you will not know which parts are most important until you have an overview of the material the chapter contains. It is a good idea to stop after reading each section of the text and ask yourself, what have I just studied? This will keep you focused and help you maintain your attention longer. You will find examples in each chapter that show how to do many of the tasks that you will be asked to do on exams. The examples are followed by exercises that you should work to test yourself on these tasks. The answer to these exercises can be found at the end of the book. If you have trouble with the practice exercise, look more closely at the example that precedes it. But don't get bogged down on one topic. If you still don't understand the topic, write down your question and ask your instructor or another student to explain it. Use the chapter objectives as a focus of study. At the end of each chapter, there is a list of objectives that you should be able to do after studying the chapter. Many of the objectives begin with the words explain or describe. You will be tested on these objectives, so it is a good idea to write your answers down. This will reinforce your learning of the task. If you do this conscientiously, perhaps using color, you may be able to visualize your study notes while taking the exam. Many of these objectives refer to stepwise procedures. Use techniques learned from your instructor on how to solve these tasks. This textbook is also accompanied by a course internet site that supplements the text material. You should find it useful in this stage of studying. The course site contains podcasts, lecture notes, problem sets, handouts, and schedules that can help you more effectively learn the tasks that you will need to be able to perform. Work some of the problems at the end of the chapter. Do not try these end of chapter problems too soon. They are best attempted after you have studied the chapter sufficiently and used as a test of your knowledge. Ask for help when you need it. Don't be shy. Sometimes 5 minutes in the instructor's office can save you an hour or more of study time. You might also consider forming a study group of your fellow students. It can benefit those of you who are able to give help as well as those who need it. There is no better way to organize one's thoughts than trying to communicate them to someone else. Review for the exam. Read the list of objectives. Ask yourself if you can meet each one. Every time the answer is no, spend some time making the effort to learn that task. Your lecture notes can also be very beneficial help in mastering the important tasks that must be learned to succeed in chemistry. Again, work some more problems at the end of the chapter. This will sharpen your skills and improve your speed on the exam. Good luck, and I hope you earn that A.